afternoon. Preparations complete for the game against Mansfield. I'm delighted to say with me now is the Dons' #1 goalkeeper, Nik Tzanev. Tans, of course, 13 clean sheets for you so far this season. Give us a bit of insight into what's made this possible.
Yeah, I think just building solidity throughout the team, all the way through the team, I think, because sometimes when people think about clean sheets, they think about straight away defenders and goalkeepers, but I think together as a team we've been very, very solid throughout the season, and I think that's the main reason for how we've been doing, and I think the relationship between everyone around the back line and the midfielders has been very strong, so no, it's a good record and hopefully you keep going now.
Have you got a particular match or save that stands out for you in particular?
I think the Stockport game, I'd say, yeah, I think that was a big performance from everyone in the team, just being able to beat them, because they're obviously up near the top now, so it just shows that I think every game we go into we can feel as if we win. I think it's just that little thing we're missing at the minute, but yeah.
How about yourself, because you're in a really good place at the moment? Do you feel that you're at your absolute best, or there could be improvements to be made?
No, I don't think I'll ever be at my best, because then I don't think I'll ever be improving. I think everyone has room to improve, and if you don't, I think it's a bit silly to think that. So I look back at every game, see what I could do better, see how I can improve, and I think every game sort of builds on that performance from the previous week, and just being able to learn from each individual situation, I think is the main thing for me.
And that defensive understanding as well you were talking about, I mean, it's changed around so many times this season, but whoever's come in, you've still been able to sort of keep those clean sheets, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. I think even now recently, Knightsy coming in, he's done very well, so I think everyone, and I have that relationship with Knightsy as well from the past, and with PK, Brownie, with everyone, you know, so Guns, Piercy, so I think now just being able to continue sort of getting back onto those clean sheets, I think is our main focus, because I think there's been a few mistakes where we can all help out, and we've all sort of identified things that we could help with to prevent those type of goals. So now I think the main goal is just to get back to those clean sheet ways and grind out results.
Just looking at life off the pitch for you, because I mean, you've really upped your game this season. I mean, you like your skiing, you like your surfing. Do you have to make sacrifices in life now to concentrate on getting where you are?
Yeah, for sure. I think even at a young age, I think there was always sacrifices, like going out with friends and friends going to parties and stuff on a Friday night, and you could never go to those times. And then I think travelling halfway across London to Crystal Palace, coming back from school at 3 o'clock, on the train at 4 for a training at 6:30. So I think there's a lot of sacrifice you need to put in to get to the level where everyone's at, and all the lads I think have done really well.
Just talking about music as well. Music sort of helps a lot of players. You've got somebody like David De Gea who's into a lot of heavy metal kind of stuff and a lot of loud stuff, but what helps you get in the zone, basically?
Yeah, I think I listen to all types of music, to be honest. I quite enjoy everything, so I sort of more house stuff to get into it, and there's some, me and Chiz have been listening to some South African house which we've been really enjoying. Yeah, it's like a new sort of genre, so that's been getting me and Chiz going quite a lot before games.
That's good to hear. In terms of New Zealand, of course, you're proud to represent your country when it's possible. What's the situation with that, with representing the Whites? Because, I mean, obviously they're the other side of the world.
Yeah, I think it's always difficult because it's so far away and when they have home games, but I think in the future there's quite a few windows coming up, and now with a new manager coming in, I think it'll be a good opportunity to start fresh and potentially build up that international profile as well.
Somebody, of course, that is so important to this club as well, goalkeeper as well, and our president, Dickie Guy. How good is it to see him back at matches again after?
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been speaking to him throughout the whole time, and he's been messaging me after games, congratulating me and stuff. So, no, I've been getting quite close with Dickie, and I'm just glad to see him back at games and healthy and stuff. And yeah, for sure, I think he can now just get stronger week by week and continue to come to those games and enjoying the game.
Absolutely, and of course Nathan Bruin was really pushing you at the start of the season and in pre-season, which has probably pushed you along with your game too, but you've been in situations as well where you've been way down the pecking order, and look at you now. What kind of advice can you offer him? Yeah,
I think it's just continue pushing and just not taking any day for granted, I think is the main one for me, just training as hard as possible, because that extra little bit of work you put in, day out, is the key to succeeding. And Brumi, for his age, he's so good. He's only 20, 21, so I think he has such a long time in his career, And you can just see it with Bezo, me, who say it every day, he's improving week in, week out. So I think it's a massive thing just to stay focused throughout the season. And I know the position he's been is tough because you're not playing, but I think everyone has to go through that journey to get to where they're at and the position they're in.
And of course, from the other perspective as well, when you're in training, you're facing our strike force, and goals is something that we're trying to score more of at the moment, obviously. Can you see it coming from what you're facing out there?
Yeah, I think doing a lot more finishing in small-sided games, I think it's just being more clinical in those areas when we get those chances, because in this league sometimes when there's a very stubborn defence, it's very hard to get those chances. So once we get those opportunities, I think we just need to grasp it, and you see it in training in small-sided games in the minute. We're doing a lot better, and yeah, just taking our chances.
You mentioned Chiz there as well. We spoke to him after the game the other night. He says that obviously the game against Mansfield coming up this Saturday, it still stings a little bit after we got beaten at their place. So it's determination to try and keep that clean sheet again this Saturday.
Yeah, for sure. There's that added bit, because not conceding 5, no goalkeeper wants that. No team wants that. So I think there's that added anger and aggression that we can take into the game now on the weekend, and steamroll them. That's the plan.
That'll be good. Yeah. But for yourself as well, of course, another landmark that you've achieved recently is now 100 appearances for the club, and there's a group of players as well who've reached 100 appearances. How important is that in terms of going forward, having a real core of players to do that?
Yeah, I think it's amazing just to show that all these young players coming up through Wimbledon have had that many games already under their belt, so it just shows that we have that core strength in the team, and then players coming from outside helping out as well. So I think it's now just going to improve us week in, week out. We're just going to progress on.
One thing we haven't mentioned, of course, as well, we've gone the full length of the interview, and if we don't say anything, you'll probably be on to me, but Bezo, I mean, he's still churning out these top-level keepers as well, isn't he? So it's remarkable. Spike Britt's coming through as well.
Yeah, no, Spike's doing unbelievably well and going away with England, doing really well, so I'm glad for him. And H, Beastie and Luca obviously being with us the whole time, and they're obviously improving week in, week out, and it's just continuing. For them, it's just game time really at that age, because it's quite difficult when you have that many goalkeepers at a younger age for the same age group. So I think it's just experiences, and wherever their path leads them, they just need to keep their head up.
Absolutely. Tans, thanks very much for spending some time with us this afternoon.
Yeah, cheers guys, thanks.